What's going on, everybody? Mike Lindsley with you here from the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. I am about to dive into a killer burger here. You got to make sure that you grab lunch here. You got to make sure you grab dinner here. They've got all-you-can-eat boneless wings, all-you-can-eat steak special, all-you-can-eat spaghetti and meatballs. It is awesome. And I'm going to be here November 3rd for a Breeders' Cup watch party, Syracuse, Wake Forest, and college football watch party. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. $2 can specials. We're going to have all-you-can-eat cheese pizza for everybody who comes here, a bunch of swag giveaways and more. So make sure you come and join us on November 3rd. And come, during the day. Great place for business meetings, after work for a quick brew and a burger here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. And right next door, you can bet on the ponies as well. I want to get into a 2018-19 Buffalo Sabres season preview. I think number one storyline clearly is that this is the year now. We are removed a couple years in terms of Jack Eichel with the ankle injury and all the rest. This is the year he needs to take another step in terms of being the superstar guy. He wanted Biles McGunn. He wanted to get paid. He wants good drafts. He wants help around him. Well, they've got it now, okay? Yes, it might take another year for this team to develop and then make the playoffs next year, but they better get damn close this year, and a big reason is Jack Eichel. Whether you give somebody too much credit or not enough credit, a superstar sometimes is in that world. It's just like a quarterback for the NFL. It's like Bryce Harper for the Washington Nationals. But the reality of the situation is Jack Eichel is the face of the team, and he has to have a wonderful, wonderful season. You take a look at Jeff Skinner, who they picked up, of course, from the Hurricanes. You take a look at Sam Reinhart now on that line. That line has obviously all the ingredients, all the goods to be the best line for the Buffalo Sabres. And then defensively, maybe you put Rasmus Dahlin there or somewhere else to add depth. But this is the year for Jack Eichel. He has to play extremely well. The other part of it would be, looking at other players. Now, I don't know if Jurgensen's is going to make the roster at this point. There's a lot of competition for a lot of players out there. But the Sabres have added a lot in terms of their depth. And I think when you look at that, that is one way you win in the National Hockey League. I have always said it. The four ingredients to winning a Stanley Cup: number one, goaltending; number two, depth; number three, you got to be better on special teams; and then number four, without a doubt, you have to be you have to be a deep team. I mean, depth and special teams and goalkeeping and actually your stars, I should say, so I don't repeat one of them. Your stars have to be better than the other team's stars, and I think it kind of falls in line a little bit microcosm wise for a regular season. You got to have your stars, you got to have your special teams, you got to have your depth, and you got to have the goaltender to get to the playoffs. And then, of course, when you get there, the system keeps going. But I look at this thing straight up with the Sabres as not necessarily the make or break year to make the postseason, but I think they got to get at least close. I think Eichel's going to have a really good year. In fact, I would use the analogy over to the Buffalo Bills, where even if the Bills have a year that's 4-12 or 5-11 or 6-10, whatever the hell it is, they could still maybe even go 3-13 after they had that great win against Minnesota. It will be okay because only if, I should say, the guys they need for the future end up having a tremendous season. Because I think with Josh Allen and Tremaine Edmonds and Deion Dawkins and all those guys, that's kind of like the Reinhart, Rasmus Dahlin, Jack Eichel, Skinner type of group for the Buffalo Sabres. And the other thing I think in the spring in the training camp that we've seen so far, and I know it's way early, and we'll see what happens tonight as I record this, as the Sabres play the Blue Jackets in that craft hockey deal out in Clinton, New York. The players now, this is year 2 of Phil Housley. This is buying into his system. This is the defenseman jumping in to the play a little bit more. He's seeing more of a fast-paced Sabre team, getting the puck into the zone and having awareness to keep it in the zone, get the tempo going and all the rest. Passes more crisp. Where are guys going to land and all that in terms of over center ice, getting the puck going in transition more, and then, of course, dumping into the zone. and getting offensive chances. I think that's an important thing to take a look at this year for the Buffalo Sabres. But they've got to have a couple of other guys somehow, some way, maybe step up and get that 15, 20 goal season. You need a couple of those guys. We know that they have a lot of talent in the minor leagues. We'll see if Casey Middlestat, for example, can be one of those guys. It obviously starts with Eichel. It starts with his line. Reinhart just got paid. Eichel has gotten paid. Skinner comes over with a contract. The goalie situation, a little concerned about that. Not as much depth maybe as last year, but I think might be okay. Again, a lot's going to depend on frontline scoring. And the Sabres a couple years ago, remember, they gave basically every single possible chance with eggs in a basket in terms of the special teams. I mean, they were trying to score on the power play left and right. So this is going to be a very interesting season. I'm hoping that the Sabres can make the postseason. I'm hoping that they can throw a couple of surprises out there. We'll see, maybe like in a year, this team could become the Devils from last year or the Colorado Avalanche from last year. Making the playoffs with a young superstar, a Nathan McKinnon type with Colorado. Maybe the Sabres can then go and do that this year or next year. But the time is certainly ticking here. I think Buffalo Sabre fans are annoyed. 2011 was the last time this team made the postseason. And now, seeing the Bills make the playoffs last year and break the drought, I think everybody is ready for at least a playoff series in Western New York and building upon what they have right now. And we'll see with Jason Botterill as the GM. We'll see with Phil Housley, the head coach. I am a believer in both of these guys. I'm a believer in Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott with the Buffalo Bills. I think that there is a chance here the Sabres could have a really, really solid season, maybe sneak up on a couple of teams and make the playoffs. If not, at least in 1920 will be the major year when all of these guys really, really start to take form in year 2, year 3, year 4 of Rasmus Dahlin, of Eichel, of Middlestat, of a lot of other players. So we'll see what happens with the Buffalo Sabres. Huge thanks to the Phoenix Sports Restaurant for having me out today as I record 9 minutes with Mike Lindsley on IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. Make sure you download my podcast. It's the ML Sports Platter. You can get it on Spotify, you can get it on iTunes, and you can get it on Google Play Music. I just recently had a couple of really awesome guests on the show. Hopefully you can go and listen in. I've had ESPN's Jay Billis on and a bunch of others. I had Sam Stith on, the St. Bonaventure basketball legend, and I had the front office insider and NFL analyst Mike Lombardi on to talk about his brand new book, his podcast. He got into a lot of cool stuff in terms of culture and how to build a winning team in the NFL as well. So that is a must listen in terms of Mike Lombardi. You can also hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports, and you can visit pinstripepassion.com for my Yankees and baseball commentary. I'm about ready to dive into this burger. It looks amazing. I have a side of mashed potatoes and gravy over there as well. Lunch here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant is a home run. You got to come and eat. You got to come and watch some of the ponies and go bet next door at the Phoenix OTB. You can come for dinner as well. And make sure you join me on November 3rd. It's going to be a Syracuse-Wake Forest college football and Breeders' Cup watch party. We're going to have $2 can specials, all-you-can-eat cheese pizza for everybody who comes, swag, giveaways, you name it. On November 3rd, it's going to be a fantastic day at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant here. And Mike and the gang doing an awesome job. Again, Mike Lindsley here, 9 minutes with me, IGTV, Facebook, and YouTube. We'll be doing a bunch more of these throughout the week, next week, etc., and I'll do some longer form Facebook Live as well. Really hoping that the Sabres have a good year. Western New York dying for it. Good luck to the team. And, of course, the Sabres and Blue Jackets play tonight in Clinton in a special game for that town. About 2,000 people in the arena. Should be pretty neat. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.